Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan, and I teach Ielts here. Once again, I welcome you guys to my study plan video for Ielts writing. In my previous videos, I gave you a study plan for Ielts listening, Ielts reading. Now I'm going to give you a foolproof study plan for Ielts writing. Let me tell you, Ielts writing is difficult for many students. I come across students on the daily basis, whether they are doctors, engineers, nurses, postgraduate students, even PhD scholars. All of them are having problem in writing, and actually these days they are not giving good bands in writing. You know what I mean by they. They are not giving good bands in writing, so it's difficult. Students want to get minimum 7 bands in writing, but they are getting 6.5, some are getting 6. Even I have seen a student who got 9 in listening, 8 in reading, right, and in speaking 7, but in writing that was 6 band. Okay, so you need to pay special attention. I'm going to give you again a foolproof formula to improve your writing. Let's take a start with essay writing, because essay writing is equal to 6 band score. I mean, out of 9 bands, 6 bands go to essay writing and 3 bands go to task 1, that is letter writing, or that is report writing. Now, as far as essay writing is concerned, behind essay writing, it is your language skill. They check all the skills you have in your language. They check all the shortcomings in your language. They observe them, right? They check your spelling. They check your punctuation. They check your sentence structure. They check your tenses, right? They check the use of active voice, passive voice. They check whether the sentences are simple, compound, complex, conditional. They also check modal verbs, whether you are using modal verbs or not. They also check active voice, passive voice. So you need to prepare for all these things. Now all these things which I just told you, you need to learn them, and it's not that difficult. You can watch any YouTube video on compound sentence in English. You can watch any YouTube video on complex sentence, right? You can watch any video about punctuation, and this is how you need to feed yourself good English in order to write good English. This is one thing. Second is the quality of your arguments. Because for band score 7, if you want to get 7 bands in writing, the examiner wants to see what is the quality of your arguments. I mean, whether you are writing good arguments or your arguments are just weak or just sort of fake arguments. So arguments or knowledge is second most important thing after your language skills. So you need to focus that. Now remember, as I usually say, good readers are the good writers. So try to read essays, as many essays as possible, but when you read the essay, you have to read it with careful observation, with careful analysis, right? So if you read any essay, you just got to see what is the topic. After the topic, you got to see what is the context of the topic. That is very, very important. Topic and context of the topic on which you got to write your essay. Then you must see what is the type of the essay. And you must be familiar how to write opinion essay, that's one type. How to write discussion essay, that's another type. How to write problem and solution essay, that's another type. How to write advantages, disadvantages essay, and so on. So you must be familiar, you must be able to identify the type of essay, the topic, and the context of the topic. Again, I'm telling you, some students write essay only on the topic. They don't understand the context of the topic. That's why they get low band score. So you need to understand the topic and the context of the topic in order to write good band score. Then after that, you need to read essays, and you got to see, okay, how to write introduction. My own videos are available about various types of essays, and I've told very clearly, I've explained very clearly how to write introduction. Almost in every type of essay, in introduction, the first sentence is always a general sentence about the topic. Then the second sentence is add another sentence to support the first one. Then according to the type, it's different. So you need to know that how to write one type of essays. Then in the body, how many paragraphs you are going to write, what should come in those paragraphs, whether this essay type needs 2 body paragraphs for arguments and 1 for contrast, or this essay type needs 2 body paragraphs and then conclusion. You should be familiar with all these things, and this is only possible if you read different books on essay writing, if you read various essays. Remember, you need to do extensive reading of essays for bench score 7, essays for bench score 8. And let me tell you, one way of reading is the way you read the newspaper. Right? Now, if I give you the newspaper and I select a news from there and I say, well, read it very carefully, there are 2 mistakes in this news. There are 2 language mistakes in this very news. So you got to find those. Now you will read every sentence very, very, very carefully. If I just ask you to read the newspaper, you will read it casually. Right? If I ask you to read the newspaper and then I will ask you some questions, then you will read carefully. So you need analytical reading skills in order to improve your writing skills. I told you, good readers are those who analyze what they read, who observe what they read, who absorb the things, new grammar, new structures, new type of phrases, new collocations, the new knowledge. They acquire knowledge from what they read. That's what you guys need to do. Once you start to absorb things, obviously it's going to come out. Once there is going to be the incoming, and let me tell you, all the readers do not allow the things to income while they are reading. They just do a casual reading and there they are. No, you should be a very good reader. Read the essays, identify new sentence structures. Now, after that, select a good essay and then rewrite on that essay. Rewrite the introduction, rewrite the body, rewrite the conclusion, then select another topic and then rewrite that topic. Then select another essay, a complete essay, and rewrite and then match. Now, rewrite doesn't mean you cram this essay, you learn it by heart and then you just produce the same. No, you can even change it, you can modify it. So at this point, it is not a good idea to be an independent writer. If you write essays independently initially, maybe your language is strong, maybe your knowledge is not, maybe your language is weak, not strong, maybe your knowledge is very feeble, you don't have in-depth knowledge, so you end up writing wrong essays and then you write essay after essay after essay and you don't get any desired bench score, you don't get any good result. That's why you should have a role model essay, read that essay carefully, analyze, observe, see the structure of the essay, right? What is the structure, right? And then afterwards, when you write, that writing will be better. Again, another role model, because you know, when we select a role model in our life, we try to be like them. So you select role model essays and make sure you select role model essays very carefully, because on the internet, at times they claim that this essay is equal to 7 band, this essay will give you 8 band, this essay will give you 9 band, but the essays are not of Ielts standard. That's very, very important, because Ielts has got a specific standard for essays. Ielts has got a specific pattern for essays. It's not like other essays people write for their university education and all that. Your essays should be according to Ielts standard and Ielts style. That's very important. So write another essay, then read carefully, observe, write another essay. This is how obviously and gradually you will improve your essay writing skill, you will improve your knowledge, and then the topics will come, you will have knowledge, you will be able to write very good essays. In the same way, you guys can improve your report writing skills. First of all, you need to learn different types of graphic information, maps, process diagrams, right? You got to learn about them. Then you got to see what is the structure, what is the layout, and then again, role model, report. There is graphic information and role model report, and you got to rewrite. First read, okay, this is introduction. The first paragraph in report is called introduction. Alright, second paragraph is called overview. And the next paragraphs are the body paragraph. In report, we don't need conclusion. If report is written on graphic information, then we don't need conclusion. It's just written like that. So you need to understand all these things. Once you understand all these things, you will be able to write good reports. Let me tell you another thing. The financial newspapers, the newspapers that contain the commodities and their prices, right, the currencies and their fluctuation, there are some line graphs, there are some pie charts, there are some bar charts. So you should read financial page of any English newspaper. You can learn a lot of things. And again, for report writing, you should have strong observation skills. That okay, I need to write report on that. What is the most important trend? What is the second most important trend? This is how you can rank. And by the way, my videos are available on report writing. There are 23 videos. You can just watch them and then read the reports as many as possible. Try to rewrite them, and there you are. You'll be able to get 3 bands or even 2.5 bands in report. Because in report, it's very simple like mathematics. What you see, you observe, and then you plan, organize your writing, and there you are, you write a report. As far as letter writing is concerned, it's not difficult. I mean, letters are written whether they are formal, informal. You got to read the topic, understand the topic, put yourself into that situation. You have to feel that this is a situation which is happening with me. This is something which is occurring with me, or which has occurred with me, which has happened to me, and now I need to write a letter. Then you should be familiar with the whole, you should be familiar with the procedure of writing the letter. There are certain protocols. What are the protocols? Like there should be salutation in the beginning of the letter. There should be farewell at the end of the letter. The first paragraph is called statement of purpose. The next body paragraphs, they can be 2 paragraphs. So one paragraph is called letter details. The last paragraph is called the statement of request, and then farewell. So you should know all the protocols, type of letters, and remember, for letter writing, you must be familiar with informal language and formal language. If your informal language skill, I mean, if instead of writing informal language, you are writing formal language in the letter, again you'll get low band. And if instead of writing formal language, letter is formal, but you are using contractions and other informal language, again you'll get the low bands on that. And then again, I would say, read specimen letters as much as possible. Try to read as many letters as possible. You got to read. After reading, observe, okay, this is the first thing, this is second, and you know, salutation, that depends on the level of formality. Even farewell also depends on the level of formality. We've got different salutation, different farewell. You need to learn all these things, make your notes, then read a letter, write it. Again, read a letter, don't write independently initially. Many students, when they write independently, I mean, once a student came to me who was very fluent in English, but his English was absolutely wrong, full of grammar mistakes. Nobody ever stopped him. He kept speaking, he kept talking, and he developed that very thing, and then he came to me for learning English. Initially he was very fluent, he was talking very fluently, very comfortably, very confidently, but when I observed his English, I found out he was making wrong sentences. His grammar was wrong, and he was very confident and all that stuff. So in the same way, when you write initially independently, you tend to develop the wrong style of writing. And then that becomes very, very difficult to get rid of that. That's why there should be a role model report, role model essay, role model letter. Follow that, read that, observe that, analyze that, carefully understand that, and then try to rewrite something. Then letter after letter, essay after essay, report after report, you will be writing better reports. So this is a formula. Remember, writing is like cooking. It develops over time. Now, ladies especially who cook, When they started cooking, there wasn't any good taste in the dishes they made. But now after some time, after 5 years, even after 10 years, now for example, if today you like the food made by your mother very much, ask your mother, how long has she been cooking? And then she will say, I've been cooking for 20 years. I've been cooking for 15 years. I've been cooking for 30 years. So over times, the skill to cook food develops, but writing will not take that much time, but still it needs to take time. Writing is not something you learn. I mean, you learn the things, but then you apply those things. So writing develops when you write. Thank you very much. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to comment this video. Tell me what else you expect from me and what you want to learn from me. I run another channel, Asad Yaqub Vlogs. You can subscribe to that channel as well. There I share videos in Urdu, Hindi and Punjabi. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, you can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best with your IELTS writing. Writing will take time. That's why start your struggle from today and try to write at least 50 essays, 50 reports and 50 letters, and these reports, letters and essays should be written keeping in mind a role model essay. I mean, there should be 50 rewrites of essays, 50 rewrites of reports, 50 rewrites of letters, and then you'll be able to get your required bench score. Take good care of yourselves. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best and a fantastic bench score in your IELTS. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.